Join me today in my newest episode of Mechs Not in MWO. Please enjoy.
The LumberJack. The LumberJack was a heavy industrial mech created by the Lyran Commonwealth in 2355. Harrow Deerfield Heavy Industrial Works of Tamar built this mech as an independent logging operations vehicle. The forestry mech was the first of its type for the company, which built more traditional construction, mining, and logging vehicles. In some cases, the mech was modified to provide combat support for military units. It continued to be constructed a lot for about 400 years until the Harrow Deerfield plant was destroyed by a Kurita raid. Survivors of this class of mech remained in service up to the middle of the 31st century. Later during the Jihad, a new company, Rastaban Agricultural Products of Duran, resumed construction of the LumberJack. The LumberJack's main tool is its Deerfield 690 chainsaw, which is mounted in place of its right-hand actuator. On its left arm, it has a lift hoist to help lug logs and other loads for its work. The mech has two dumpsters mounted on its right and left torso, along with two cargo bays, which can contain up to 10 tons of equipment each. The LumberJack's two cargo modules can hold up to 10 tons per module. Variants. The LumberJack 1, which is the original LumberJack, was lighter at 60 tons. It is presumed to have the primitive equipment. It was introduced in 2355. The LM4P, weaponized variant. Produced originally in 2811 as a military support unit, an LRM-10 replaces one of the dumpers. The mech is equipped with 4 heat sinks and 7.5 tons of military-grade armor. It also has been equipped with advanced fire control, assisting with the launcher. Prior to the Jihad, it was a very rare variant. However, production was picked up by various small factories for service and private security in LAAF due to the Jihad's destruction of mainline battle mech factories. Then there is the LM5P, the militia mech variant. The LM5P was created during the Jihad, developed in 3076. This combat-oriented mech variant was only kept in production until the end of that era. The design came out about due to the growing desperation of the LCAF and its success with the LM4P in combat, which was the previous design. Designed as a militia mech, this variant is a revamp of the design as a solid combat unit. While still using a few industrial mech components, the LM5P is powered by a fusion engine with 11 single heat sinks to help cope with the heat issues of movement and its weapon systems. While retaining the maximum speed of 54 kph, its fusion engine gives the design energy it needs to power its weapon systems. Designed as a generalist type combatant, its firepower is oriented for both long-range and close-range combat. Its long-range weaponry includes a pair of LRM-15 launchers, with one mounted in each of its side torsos, with 2 tons of ammo per launcher. For close-in combat, mounted in the right arm is a single large laser. The heavy laser is backed up by 2 medium lasers in each arm. Though still retaining an industrial cockpit, the cockpit has an advanced fire control module. Other features include military-grade armor, on par with heavy battle mechs, and 4 jump jets to help maneuver better in combat. The manufacturer was Harrow Deerfield Heavy Industrial Works, and then it moved on to Rastaban Agricultural. Use: logging, mining, civil defense. Production year: 2489. Although the LM1A variant does refer back to 2355 as its original date. This was the more primitive design. When we're talking about the LM4, we'll be using the year 2489 as our production year. Class is heavy. Cost, 2,150,000 C-bills. Mech type, inner sphere industrial mech. The mech weighed 70 tons. Chassis is HD Forester Series 4, HD Plasteel commercial grade industrial armor. The engine was a Wagner 210 heavy duty ICE. Communication systems was a Tigercom 23C. No targeting tracking systems, no heat sinks known. Speed, average speed was 54 km/h. Its arraignment as a construction mech or aggro mech was 1 chainsaw, 1 lift hoist, 2 dumpers, and 2 cargo bays. Now that we got done with the actual lore part, because there's not too much on the LumberJack here, I thought it was a very interesting one. And there are plenty of forestry mechs like this, but I feel like the LumberJack may have been the first one. As it did state that this was basically like the, like the grandfather of of all construction mechs. It's a really terrifying mech, and obviously, if you read any of the books or read it into the lore, and even in here, I even mentioned that they used it for combat, which is crazy. They put lasers and LRMs on this LumberJack, and they didn't say too much about the chainsaw. I mean, if they kept the chainsaw, that would be terrifying, wouldn't it? That would be a crazy... I mean, basically, what you're looking at here, guys, is the Roughneck. I mean, you're looking at the Roughneck right here. It doesn't hold the same type of design, but in theory, and, it's not too far off from what the Roughneck is. Although, far off could mean any type of design, but the Roughneck does look like it has a chainsaw arm, even though it doesn't rotate or anything, but it has that look. And it's only on one arm, I believe, right? So I feel like the LumberJack is what would come closest to the Roughneck when it comes to MWO, even though this series is Mechs not an MWO. The LumberJack's not, obviously, but I could be wrong. There could be other mechs that gave creation to the Roughneck, because I know they use some sort of mech as their idol to build the Roughneck. It's inspiration. Yeah. Anyways, guys, thanks for watching. I'm glad to keep the series going. I can be creative with this series too. I can show some of my work, like and especially like some of my deleted scenes that I've worked on that I'm probably never going to show. Like I can actually use it in this as like like an opening scene or something. And I used to love doing that, making like short battletech. Like I used to make these. Only a few of my real fans remember like the short commercials I would do in between takes. In between matches, I would make like these really crazy commercials for Mechwarrior. It was really crazy, but I hope you guys enjoyed. LumberJack I like this mech, I do. And actually, you know what? I actually was looking it up, and you can actually get this mech. Well, obviously you can get any BattleTech mech, I think, for tabletop, but they had quite a few LumberJacks that you could buy still in the package for tabletop that were, I think they were probably the LMP4, LM5P, or LM4P or LM5P variants, because they had weapons on it, I believe. But there's so many mechs, it's crazy. This series is going to take a lifetime, which is good. It'll never end. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you next time. Fuzzy Nova, out. But there's so many mechs, it's crazy. This series is going to take a lifetime, which is good. It'll never end. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you next time. Fuzzy Nova, out.